It was a sunny November morning. My husband was on his way to work. I was 5 months pregnant. And he called me using his Bluetooth hands-free in his car to find out what was going on for the day. He was stuck in a little bit of traffic, so we wanted to find out what was for dinner and what my plans were for the day and what we were doing. As about halfway through our conversation, I hear tires squeal, and I hear my husband go, ooh, 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 and the phone went dead. It was a long 5 minutes before my husband called me back to let me know he was okay. Gentleman behind him was on his cell phone, slammed into him, and made my husband hit the car in front of him. The front of my husband's car was squished. The back of his car was squished, but my husband was absolutely fine. People have a cell phone in their hands now all the time. You probably had yours in your hand until I just started talking about this and you just put it down. I have researched countless statistics and heard numerous sad stories. Today I'm going to share with you how by putting your phone down, you could save a life, maybe even your own. What are the effects of cell phone usage while driving? Well, about 3,000 people die each year from distracted driving, and those numbers are on the rise. Accidents can and will happen if you're on the phone while driving. It will happen. What can you do to stop that number from rising? There's apps, devices that you can install in your car. There's a lot of different things that you can do to make it so you're not tempted to use your cell phone while driving. So let's dig into this first. When was the last time that you drove and did not look at your cell phone while you were driving? Not even when you were stopped at a red light. Think about that. First, let's define what distracted driving is. Distracted driving is anything that takes your visual stimuli out of the road in front of you. A lot of different things that could do it. The number of deaths from distracted driving in 2019 was 3,142 deaths. That was cited by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the NHTSA. In January 2021, there was some research done by thezebra.com, and they found that 52.5% of Americans admitted to eating while driving. 23.6% admitted to texting while driving. And I can't, this hurts me. 11.7% of people driving their cars were taking pictures while driving. What are you taking a picture of while you're driving that you can't, okay. 6.5% of us are applying makeup while driving. You can get there without your makeup, you'll be okay. Alarmingly, less than half of those people that participated in that survey thought that texting or being on your phone while driving was actually more dangerous than drinking or driving. And the age group that finds themselves most at risk for using their cell phone and being in an accident while driving are 18 to 24-year-olds. If you're driving and using your cell phone while you're driving, you're 2 to 6 times greater for being involved in an accident. And that's per the IIHS, which is the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. Like I said, accidents can and will happen if you're driving. It's inevitable. It will happen. Science Direct shares that distracted driving is among the top 10 causes of accidents. That's not surprising. Researchers have found that brain activity associated with visual processing and attention is suppressed when drivers are cognitively distracted. So you're not paying attention to the road. That's from IIHS as well. The first state to ban handheld devices was New York, and that was in 2001. And now it's only 24 states that have similar laws. Half the country still thinks it's okay to use your phone while you're driving. Texting, on a different note, is banned in all states except for Montana and Missouri. Even though there are laws against using your cell phone while driving, 50% of us are still going to pick up our phone and do something while we're driving. In 2020, Zebra.com also said that a cell phone violation can increase your insurance by about 21%. Depending on what state you live in, that can be a lot of money that your insurance goes up. How can you help drop the number of accidents, near accidents, and deaths caused by distracted driving? The first thing I'm going to share with you is from the FCC, which is the Federal Communications Commission, and me. Be an example. If you're in the car with somebody, with your kids, with your friends, don't pick up the phone. If your kid's seeing you do it, they're going to think it's okay. Don't do it. Encourage your children to speak up. If they're in the car with their friends or somebody else and they pick up the phone, encourage them to speak up and say, hey, put down your phone when I'm in the car with you. I don't feel safe. That's pretty simple. There are companies that have company policy that you're not allowed to use the phone while you're driving. So if you work at a company that has such a policy, abide by it. You can also spread the word. Talk about it in your neighborhood. Share it with everybody you know. You can join a community group that talks about distracted driving. Like I said, there's apps and devices that you can have in your car that won't allow you to use your phone. Again, by the IIHS, crash avoidance technology is probably going to be the most promising avenue for reducing crashes from people using their phone, just because it's a computer that says, hey, listen, there's something coming in front of us. Let me avoid that. So that's probably going to be the most, because we don't have control over that. The computer saying that this is what we're going to do. Apple released a feature in 2017 called Do Not Disturb While Driving. It's a great app, but unfortunately, only 1 in 5 Apple users actually use it. And like I had talked about before, some employers actually have a device in their car called Truce. And what that does is it makes it so that you can't use your phone while you're driving unless you need to make a 911 call or something to that effect. There are numerous devices out there that you can have installed on your phone. Some of them will pay you if you don't use your phone. Some of them you can earn points. According to InsureAMatch.com, some of those apps are Cell Control, Drive Safe Mode, Lifesaver, Live to Text. My phone has a simple feature called Do Not Disturb that all I have to do is just click a button and everything goes to voicemail, or I don't get notifications that it's on. Lastly, let me share a story with you about my friend's sister. She was in a head-on collision. Somebody hit her from the front because they were distracted. She had broken arms. Both of her legs were broken. Both of her feet were crushed. She had to have multiple internal organ injuries. She's had many, many surgeries. And she has many, many more to go. She may even have to have her leg amputated. And this accident happened 6 months ago. Based on all the statistics that I've reviewed with you and the facts about distracted driving, how dangerous it is, I hope that you help reduce the number of accidents by not allowing yourself or anyone that you're in the phone with to use their phone while driving. We have many options of the apps and the devices that can help you. We are all in that population that will pick up our phone regardless. So it can be as simple as putting your phone on mute or putting it in your purse out of sight. But we all need to keep each other safe out there. Please don't become a statistic.